Goose Guy versus Henry. I thought this was one of the better games of the MCS most feared ladders. And it's going to, this is a post patch gameplay as well. So we're going to get into some of the things that the patch changed, as well as some of the learnings for what we're seeing meta wise. Another big thing about this is Goose comes into this game being one of the more unique players on defense. He's running a little bit more unique. Haven't seen very many people in dime normal for the majority of the year. Goose has been in that. Goose is also going to play defense in a little bit of a different type of format, a little bit different type of way. So I think there's going to be a lot to learn from this. Henry coming off of another belt, and we're going to see what he's doing post patch. The patch did change a lot about the game. It just really significantly impacted defense. So we're going to be seeing what we can find about defense. Now, one of the things, real quick, another thing that Goose Guy is going to do that I do think is really interesting is this right here. Even just from an alignment perspective, most people, pretty much all, are going to have their safeties on close and pinch. So they're going to have their safeties like right there, right? But because Goose has his safeties about 15-yard depth off, what that is practically is that's the default depth on the safeties, because if you set your safety depth too close, you can't cross man your safeties. So what Goose Guy is going to do potentially is he's got these guys backed off, so now he can cross man, onto either side within the safeties. That's an option. As far as pressure goes, Goose is not going to do a lot. You're going to see that in this game. He's one of the only people doing this that I've seen, doing it at this level of consistency against this level of competition. He is going to be sending two, majority of the game, sending two, sending three. And so it's just a lot different. It's a lot different in terms of that. Henry pretty much doing the same stuff as far as like offensively. We'll see what he's doing defensively. But here is a spacing switch combo that he's going to use. And as you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, but no Texas 4-man. Another big thing that this patch changed is really just the quarterback contain being one of the primary things, right? So you see, gets a shed early right there, bada bing, bada boom. Henry makes a good read there, but the catch knockouts. Now, one of the things they did help with defense is that the knockouts are just a little bit better, right? A little bit better. Overall, there was a lot of notes about helping defense, and ultimately, and there's a send two from Goose. So let's take a look at this real quick, what he's doing. He is, as you see here, the safeties are in that 15-yard depth, probably in a cover two shell. And he is going to send two. So he's going to send two, and he's going to send two off the same side. What this is going to do is by sending two off the side, you're going to get this little guy right here. As you see, he gets a one-on-one. So because of that, if Henry wants to like roll to the right side, he can't really break this contain. So he's going to have to roll this direction or just slightly drift this direction. What then this allows for is kind of a little bit of a pocket control, right? He's trying to control where he can go. So you see how he's kind of drifting left. He has a spy there in case he rolls out to this left side. So as you see, Henry he's also doing this out of man coverage, a lot of coverage on the field, and another catch knockout, bringing up a 3rd and 10. Already, you're kind of seeing Goose's strategy, how he's playing defense. What's really interesting to me about that is that if you look back over the years, honestly, Goose has been one of the most blitz-heavy players that we've seen in the comp scene, really over the years, right? And he is sending two in this game. The reason being is because in this game, there's just a lot of things that hurt blitzing in this game. All of the pass protection, the way the pass protection is just very different. And there he gets a shed and he gets sacked. So see, take a look at this. See what he sends, how many he actually sends here. And what's interesting is he'll mix up this send four as well. He'll mix in this send four a little bit as well. So here's the send four, gets a shed, boom. Obviously, you're seeing that the sheds are significantly probably better if he sends four versus if he sends two. One of the big things I think the patch changed. Before the patch, you could send two and get pretty consistent sheds. Post patch, you're and he's basically going back and forth here as we've seen on the first drive. He's really going back and forth between sending four, sending two, hasn't sent five yet one time. You've yet to see this year Really, you've yet to see a significant Send 5 blitz emerge outside of the defense that Henry runs. But honestly, that defense is even more of a Send 4. You've really not seen a Send 6 be relevant this year, which is interesting. And it just kind of highlights, the level of difficulty with blitzing in this Madden specifically. Why have we not seen a single competitive player, right, really blitzing consistently and getting consistent pressure? There you see there, and that's actually a great read from Henry. It's actually a great route combo. This is a really cool way to run smash return, especially in this spot of the field. So what he does here is he uses this stemmed up speed out, and obviously it looks exactly like a streak, right? But because of the down and distance, because of the where he's at on the field, the streak doesn't really help him. So he can still throw this like a streak, but then he is able to cut on the out cut right there. And then the rest of it's just basic smash return. He decides to use a running back in route. You see Goose send two, and here's the thing: pressure doesn't really get home here. Henry drifts. He's got all day. Goose sends the spy. Okay, probably because Henry slid enough to the left side, so he's trying to collapse the pocket with that send three, and he just leaves that guy one-on-one on island, and Henry's able to take advantage of it and hit Travis Hunter for a touchdown. So that was Henry's opening drive. We'll take a look at Goose's opening drive. I will also be leaving links in the description of both of these guys' schemes and stuff. I think they have them on their own sites, so I'll leave their links in the description if you guys want to check out any of their stuff. But coming to this game, we'll see what Henry's doing defensively. Looks like he's still in the nickel wide, which is kind of interesting. Nickel wide definitely got worse. Post patch a little bit. Primarily just because it's harder to get off the block with your user than before. But we'll just take a look. I'll just break this down. I'm assuming people know, but they might not. Maybe watching this for the first time. So you're going to get blitz, 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 and then you're going to get A gap pressure here. The other thing Henry will do is he'll blitz, 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 A gap pressure, zone. And his user, the way you're going to trigger this pressure is user is going to hit the center, and then he's going to peel into coverage. Now, the other thing he'll do is he'll send four, like he's going to do right here, just a basic send four. He'll also do this, Texas four-man, like that. That one's going to be pretty rare because of the mobility of the quarterback. He'll also Texas two-man, like this. And then the last one that he'll do normally will be what we call the Tom stunt, where he's going to loop a D tackle. Okay. So you see here, sends five. I think he messed up with his user there. Anyway, didn't even look at what Goose was doing offensively. So Goose is normally a U-Trips player, but here he's in a tight flex week. Kind of like almost like a tight doubles. Running some compression. So safeties, you see there, Henry. So you see the difference between the safeties. Henry's safeties are close and pinch. Goose's were backed off a lot. There he is. So you see how he's holding the substitution menu up. He's going to hit the center. You see the pressure picked up. And easy read for Goose. Got a couple yards out of there. So there was the pressure. Another big issue with this pressure from nickel wide is a simple slide protect normally can take care of it, and you don't have a ton of thread on the backside. It's another big challenge with it. All right, so here Henry kind of adjusting out of cover four. Again, send four. Pretty good sheds, pretty good contain, pretty good defense. And you are seeing like send four sheds significantly faster than send two. At least so far. I think send two is kind of like sometimes it sheds and sometimes it just doesn't shed, especially post patch. All right, so you see the pressure picked up again. It's the second time he's ran the blitz on the drive. Both times have been picked up. Both times have been for completions, and you're seeing him clipping it. Probably taking a look at the pressure. Can't get that pressure to come in, and that's significant. When your blitz isn't coming in consistently, it really hurts you defensively, um, because the quarterback doesn't have to have a threat of pressure, right? So same kind of thing here. He's going to try to send it again. Here he sends it again. He gets picked up again. He actually, what's crazy here is if we take a look at what he did here, he's going to send this off the nickel corner side. And so watch how many people Henry sends. This is the problem with blitzing this game. So he's going to send his user. He actually D-pad switches. So he blitzes his user. He's going to blitz 1, 2, 3, 4, and then user out. I guess he only technically sent 4. I thought he sent a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he sent 5. He D-pad switched to the D end. Um, the way you do that is you can blitz your user and then you can switch stick off of him by using the D-pad. But yeah, again, wide open drag, and that's the third time Henry sent the blitz, and every single time, not only did it not get pressure, it led to a completion for the offense, 2 for big plays, 1 for a touchdown. That right there is highlighting, like the little sequence right there really highlighted, I think one of the bigger challenges with defense right now is there's just not great pressure. I think I've found something out of 6-1, posted a mini scheme in our school community out of it where you're able to, what's nice about 6-1 is you're able to at least have the threat of a lot of pressures that you can run. So you can run a send, a send 2, a send 3, a send 4, a send 5, a send 6. And based off their alignment, based off their slide protections, based off all those factors, you could get some pretty good stuff out of 6-1. So I think 6-1 could be a defense to look out for in terms of as a meta. I do think there's a lot of ways to utilize it. Mills actually used it to beat Fancy in this tournament or this ladders, and obviously we know how good of a player Fancy is. So Mills kind of the guy that really put 6-1 as a top level defense on the map. But anyway, if you want to check that out, it's in our school community. Link is in the description. You get all of everything that I know about Madden, everything that I know about college football, all for just $10. If you want to sign up, that link is in the description. But here we see Goose is going to be sending 2, and the thing about the send 2 that is good to me, or at least the way Goose plays defense, Goose for the most part is probably going to keep you in front. When this happens, this drives me nuts, though. This is what's going to. So one of the other issues. So another reason why I like 6-1. So the way I run 6-1 is you pinch the D line. So this defensive end, as you see, he's on the outside hip of this tackle. In 6-1, he would be like head up or right over the top. So he's just a little bit more inside. And then the linebacker would be like head up over the slot corner. In this game, one of the big issues is this right here. If you look at the tight end, you're going to see that he is going to see here. He's going to run into this guy. He's going to chip him, and he's going to basically take him out of the play. And then he's going to run his route. And that's why you want to be in formations with a tight end, like Y off trail close, bunch X nasty, Y off trips Pats. Like a tight end is really valuable because he does stuff like that. And you saw like there was just no pressure. Henry able to pop Goose's coverage. And honestly, Goose kind of over adjusted a little bit, in my opinion, at least on the first couple drives. I mean, you should never give the way Goose I think wants to play defense is you should never give up a 1-play touchdown, right? I think Goose wants to play that bend but don't break, passive pressure, type of defense. All right, so Henry going to sit in coverage here. Just a basic cover for hard flat, little running back auto motion route. That's that. Good defense good defense not giving up that motion route there on the side, but then obviously you got the backside in route you got to worry about too. Very interesting formation selection from Goose. It's basically tight, just 2x2 tight, which is also, like I said, Goose has been in U trips for so long. Kind of interesting to see him running tight, tight flex. All right, so here's an audible into Waft Trail close. There's a zig wide open. Another thing about this game right now is if you have conductor on your quarterback and you flip your play, you get basically unlimited hot routes. If you have, here we go, some the pressure here. This time got a little pressure. The man coverage stuck like glue. You are seeing a fair amount of cover zero right now as well. Here, let's see what he ends up going with. Texas four-man stunt. First time Henry's run that this game. We'll see what it does for him. And we've got a cover 3 cloud rotation here. Texas four-man. You see, this is the problem with Texas four-man. Goose Guy does a really good job. Texas four-man is a great defense, unless they do what Henry or what Goose is going to do. So as you see, so Texas four-man. For the most part, it kind of came in. But watch how Goose is able just to freely kind of slide to this little section, drift a little bit. This guy just does not get off his block well. He doesn't do a good job of holding contain and doesn't do a good job of pushing for that outside leverage. He gets kind of pinned inside. Quarterback's able to roll out, and you're able to kind of buy time with that basically. And you could do a lot. You could scramble, you could whatever, right? Obviously, it's a good mix in, but that Texas four-man definitely not as effective as it used to be. And the mobile quarterback really is the main reason why. The mobile quarterback in this game is very, very powerful. And there you see a little comeback route. Nothing like a good comeback route, man. Goose loves him some comeback routes. All right, so tight flex. There's a cover 3 cloud rotation again. He's going to flip the play. He's going to roll over this side. So the cross manning of the interior players here, this will help with like a seam streak. You see there's a cross man. He's going to man up and there. Okay, this is actually cool. We need to break this down, what Henry does here. So this is called the Tom stunt. Tom stunt. It is really good. I actually think it might be the best stunt now. The reason being is because you can hold the edge contained like this, and then from a 4-down lineman set, it's basically like crossfire out of 1-4-6. This guy's going to crash and collapse the DT or the guard in the center. This guy's going to shoot to loop here. This guy's going to pull the tackle out, and you're trying to get a B gap loop. Now, the other big thing that happens normally is you're going to see pass committing being. They're going to pass commit. So you see here, you get this loop just like that, able to hold contain. It's pretty decent pressure. Ends up getting picked up at the last second, but it kind of, again, the thing with pressure, especially this year, you're just trying to get them to get rid of the ball just a little quicker. Same defense from Henry, but he's not going to run that Tom stunt now. He's just going to run a base 10-4, go with a base 10-4 rush here. It's just too easy. There's just no shed. It's just too easy. And you're seeing Goose pretty much have a drag on almost every single play. Drags are good against man coverage. They're great check down reads. It's hard to defend them consistently. And when you do defend them consistently, you leave yourself vulnerable to other things. Red zone possession for Goose. And finally, first time we've seen the blitz come in all game. Doesn't matter. It's going to be a wide open touchdown again. This blitz has not done what Henry needs it to do. Right? Just been too easy. And here's why. So if you watch the user, see here, he hits him, he D-pad switches. He's not switching his user off. He's D-pad switching it. And the problem with that is now you're just sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 5 out. I mean, it's just it's just too easy. Well, Henry's defense definitely looking a little different post patch. I think it primarily is just because they don't allow you to get off the block as good as they used to. That's one of the biggest things. Used to be able to engage, get off the block quickly. You could lurk that drag right there, right? He could have realistically lurked that drag a week ago. But now the patch, you can't quite lurk that drag. You get a D-pad, switch it, and then you're really out of position. Henry loves this little trip side in play, trip side in combo, China wide post, got the running back cross route. Corner route, going for this. And Goose going to get the pick. So honestly here, this is actually a pretty good play. Like pretty good read. You see Goose sitting 3 here. But basically Henry has a pass lead that he can do where he can throw this on man and essentially out leverage the defender. Now, why we don't throw that? But Monday morning quarterback, I guess. But anyway, when you see here, like it looks like he has a step, and honestly, at this point it looks wide open, and then Paul Mallow just makes a play. And you see Henry's facial expression, relatively surprised, gonna clip it, take a look at it, peek it. But Goose able to get the first stop of the game, albeit kind of on a not necessarily fluke, but just a great play. And there's Texas 4-man from Henry, and then Goose does a good job just delivering the ball to the running back here. One of the things that Goose has to have in this playbook, which I'll go over, but you see here Texas 4-man. What's actually interesting is that you see the hard flat. So you have a hard flat here, this is another thing about this game. You see the Texas 4-man comes in. The route that you want is this little slide flat route, slide route to the running backs. One of the most powerful routes in the game. You see how the flat defender doesn't get to the flat? So he has the adjustment there. Goose able to get a free first down just because of that. It's not great. Not a good look for defense right now. Texas 4-man, 2 hard flats. Other purpose of that hard flat is to serve as a containment. There you see pressure comes in, and that time Goose not able to roll out of it. And you see the Texas 4-man still certainly has like uses, and it's still good, and it still gets pressure. It's just a matter of how good or is your opponent at rolling out on this. And then obviously the other thing that you're seeing Henry do here is he's mixing it in with a lot of different ways, a lot of different types of D-line pressure. And Henry able to, I guess he did not get the stop back. Looks like he caught the pick, wasn't able to. Likes spacing out of that CB zone blitz there. That CB zone blitz gives him the capability to have that cover 3 cloud coverage. And Henry basically rotates between those 2 plays generally. So you see here, flip his man, getting a little misaligned. And there's that man coverage. And now he's got him on a 4th down. This is Henry's best chance at a stop so far this game. We'll see what he's going to dial up. He normally plays a little more coverage on these type of downs. Relies on the shed a little bit. Let's see, I think it looks like what he's going to go for here. He's going to go for a Texas 2-man on the left side with a contain on the right. Texas still does not come in, but he caged him up. Got a stop back. So right here, again, this is one of the things that that's why I don't like offense like this. Like, you see here, so you have a Texas stunt, and then you have, standard brush here. But the coverage shell from Henry, this is also why I don't know why people are not being, I don't know why, like, so many people are running cover 0. I mean, I guess just for the blitz, but he has this mid-read, super deep back here, drag, flat. Then you have what appears to be streak, post, or in. So looking obviously to hit the soft spot. Henry does a good job with that mid-read. And the running back wheel. Just didn't really give himself a lot of options. I felt like that was literally stock slot post. Maybe like with a streak, but that's why I don't like formations like that. I feel like they just don't. They struggle to. They sometimes struggle to beat like basic zone coverage. Obviously, a switch stick and everything plays a factor as well, of course. Whereas I feel like 3-by-1 formations, bunch extension, wild shield close, things like that, they give you a better, more consistent zone beating capability. And then if you can beat man from it, it's going to be good to go. So there's the unlimited hot routes. 2 minutes here in the first half. Little handoff to Saquads. As far as why handoff right there, he's going to get it down to the 2-minute warning here. Or did he? Oh, I guess he snapped. He snapped before the two. Interesting that he snapped before the two. I think it's because he thinks he has Goose out of position. So this is actually smart, honestly, from Henry. So what he actually does, he actually sets up a play. Now, I don't know if he's planning to run the play or not. Like he's completely set up his play, and I don't know if he's planning to run the play or not. But notice Goose gets kind of out of position. Henry snaps on him. You know, kind of an interesting. Really don't see that a lot, but at least giving yourself the option because he probably maybe thought like Goose maybe ran commit, messed up, whatever. He decides to run a play, and now he didn't end up necessarily working out too much for Henry, but he is able to convert on the fourth down. One of the plays this is one of the plays you've seen Henry run, and he's going to continue to run in this game. I'm going to back this up just a little bit. This is smash return. I'm going to show you why this is such a good play. There's so many windows to hit. Let's see what he does to R1 here. Okay, so it was just a basic streak. But you have a streak, you have a slant or drag. What Henry likes to do is a running back in route. You have a return route, and then you have a in route. So you have a low read here, a high read here, a clear out, a high read here, a low read here, and then you have kind of these really interesting spaces that these routes can kind of get to, as you see here with the tight end. Goose actually has a lot of middle of the field coverage. As you can see, he only ends up sending two. But this like cross man on the tight end can't really cover that. And Henry does a good job of just reading it, and Goose wasn't able to use it basically. All right, ball on the 25-yard line. Henry is going to probably try to a degree, clock this out. It's a really hard thing to clock out, so he's going to run a little shorter combo here out of trips. Love this combo. It's one of my favorite combos every year. A little flat. There's just, again, it's very similar to smash return because it just has these windows over the underneath horizontal strings that are really, really good. But he's able to do that while still using moving routes that get open against man. So you have a man and a zone beater, right? Best thing you can do in Madden is to take your man beating routes and turn them into zone beating concepts. 2nd and 6, drag, get a little swing route to pull the flat, drag right there in that little spot. Love this. So this is a new thing this year we haven't really seen. Well, a lot of people like is this table route, but in this year's game, the swing kind of gets out here a little faster, and so the purpose of that is to pull a flat zone. It's not even to throw the route. So as you see here, Goose has a curl flat or a hard flat, but notice how far, like you see how far out wide he is. So what that allows Henry to do is it opens up this box right here. You see Goose Guy's user is going to kind of lurk down, but he kind of tries to go back here. And so Henry does a good job of throwing on anticipation. This is going to be a touchdown. But notice Goose wanted that. As you see here at the bottom, everyone on Goose's team is super low in terms of how they're playing. And so Goose was probably honestly willing to give up a touchdown so that he could get the ball back with the end of half scenario to be able to go down and try to score. Henry didn't want to give Goose the ball back because, again, he's using this end of half scenario to try to get a stop, essentially. And so kind of a lot of back and forth that happened right there. Now you probably see a run right here. He is going to run the ball, and now we're in a full-on clock. He's got a decent chance at least being able to take Goose's timeouts. See if there's that deep speed out again. Using that speed out as kind of a streak and a speed out. And hits that return route, and that's a great dive, actually. So he runs that play we were talking about again, and again, you're just seeing like look at all the things that Goose has to use her, there. And honestly, plays pretty good, but Henry just such a good job reading this. He's going to hit this right here. Now, what I think he's actually trying to do is I think he's trying to fall down. But because he's close to the red zone, he actually dives, and he gets super fortunate that dive didn't like push him into the end zone because Goose wants him to score, basically. Goose doesn't want to just give him a touchdown, but he wouldn't be mad if Henry scored. So the Goose could get the ball back and try to answer before half. But this is a really good scenario for Henry because now he's able to take all of Goose's timeouts. I'll see what he does here with the play call. He's actually probably gonna go. What he's gonna do here? I would think a quarterback run, and then it does look like he quarterback strong power. We'll see how dime normal does or whatever defense he is in, and he's able to stop him. So good defensive play by Goose here. Take a look at the defense that Goose comes out in. He's still in that dime normal. It's just this time the linebacker is over the center. He kind of probably show blitz or something like that, bringing the safety down, getting the heavier box count. And again, Goose is stopping one of the best runs in the game out of a dime normal defense. You see here, you get a flip, you get out of position, slot corners going every which way, spread D line, and able to stop it. So 4th and 4, Henry is going to take his 3. Now, Goose is going to be getting ball at half as well. So if Goose is able to go down and get 3, this kind of negates that. So we'll see what Henry ends up doing. He is just going to take his quick 3 here, give Goose the ball back with 35 seconds. But it's also really realistic that Goose could go down and get 3, then get ball at a half, get 7, be up 7 by the next time Henry touches that ball. So some players like to go for it there because of that situation. So 3rd and inches, probably if he picks that up, whole different situation. All right, Goose using some zone stemming here. Going to take that check down drag route for about 4 yards. Not going to get it done in this situation. Kind of needs a chunk play. This curl flat, if you watch this curl flat, watch how good this is going to do. See how good that curl flat defended that corner. Really nice play. Little scramble. Was that a... No, that was just a base rush. See, that's what's crazy is that's a base rush, and he's able to scramble very easily on it. Very easy to scramble in this game. So you see there's that curl flat. Henry just stemming his zones back a little bit. And makes him have to throw it in bounce there. Ball on the 46, probably a spike. It's going to have 5 seconds. So it's going to have 1 play. Probably needs about 10 yards at least for a field goal try. You see Henry doing it. So Henry just being very intentional here, trying to make sure you can't throw the ball to the sideline, getting those guys out wide. And he's going to just throw an interception. Henry, very sad about that one. Probably not going to score there, but very well could have if Cam Ward gets tackled in the line. That very easily could have been a pick 6 for Henry in that situation. I don't know what Goose. I think Goose got to throw a sack or whatever. But anyway, so Goose can get ball back, potentially able to go up 21-17 on this possession, or just simply tie the game. Or Henry going to get a stop. We'll see what happens here with the second half. Ashton Genti getting the ball to the 26. And Henry pretty much staying committed, staying in the nickel wide, interestingly. Kind of just sending 4, really. Yeah, kind of just sending 4. There's honestly, he might have more success with the B-gap blitz out of those. Because there is a way to get a B-gap loop from the linebacker. There's an intentional. And now Henry looks like, I'm just going to keep it in the pocket. I don't think Henry feels very threatened by this tight flex weak offense. I don't think that he's having a hard time covering the field. I think the biggest thing has been the scramble from Goose. But if he keeps the scramble in check, there's really not been anything from this offense that I've seen that's like, whoa. Tyquan Thornton on little return route. Did he send pressure? Yeah, again, sent pressure, no pressure, right? His blitzes come in one time, and he sent 6 on 5 blocking. And the blitz is they just really nerfed any kind of blitz in this game. Texas Foreman stunning this down, trying to get a little bit of pressure. There you see there's the pressure, good pressure. Honestly, great read from Goose. This is actually, I mean, this is what you want. Like, look how good this Texas four-man's coming in. Look how clean this is. He got both of them to come in. He went, picket fence on the first down marker. What a combo, by the way. We don't even have a clear out. Yeah, I mean, I guess the reason we're running this is we have a high read. But I mean, golly, what a route combo. Take a look at this. What does he do on the left? Okay, so he's got drag, Texas route, crosser, streak, and corner route. So the corner route is like probably for main coverage. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's not not too bad. It just kind of looked weird. You see drag here, Texas route here, but good pressure. Goose gonna convert this corner. I mean, it's a really honestly like easily could have gone both ways. Henry could have switched that a little better and snapped on it, but that was good completion by Goose, tight window, good defensive play by Henry. Honestly, just didn't get the stop. All right, so ball in midfield, 1st and 10, and this is you're seeing the Texas four-man is really where he's had the most success with the pressure. This is not and their first time that blitz has come in all game, and he gets an incompletion, right? But again, if we take a look closer at Henry's user, he's not. This is really important. Look, he's not getting off of him. He's D-pad switching over here, which puts him way out of position. Like he actually makes a great defensive play, but it really does put him out of position. But what is smart is that he's D-pad switching to a D end. That is smart, and so he's able to give you one look but do something behind it. And he's got that D-pad switch down because he's getting that D end every time. So here he's going to send a little pressure, looks like. No, he's going to cover out. There's Texas stunt. The problem with Texas stunt is you can't overuse it, right? You kind of want to mix it in. Honestly, the Tom stunt was pretty good too for him. Texas four-man stunt again. So now Henry's starting to say, okay, let's see how he handles the stunt. There's a rollout, throwaway. That's what you want to see. Another thing you're seeing with that Texas four-man stunt, when that guy comes in free, it's the quarterback can still get away from that, but it's not necessarily easy. And yeah, just really interesting. Here, he's done it a couple times. Now he's going to not do it, and now he's not going to do it, and so you see it forces the quarterback to stay in the pocket. That's kind of the thing that you're seeing now is like, am I doing Texas four-man? Am I not doing it? Am I doing a Tom? There's 4 or 5 different ways that Henry can, kind of send 4. You're just seeing that a lot right now defensively across the board is giving multiple variations of a send 4. There you see another. If we take a look at what he does here, he's now going to Texas 2-man. So the Texas 2-man is great because you can send these guys to kind of keep this rollout away. So if he rolls this way, he's have to throw back across his body. He goes to the skimbo cover 2, but he's going to use the hard flats here. See how he runs his user back after snap really well to get depth. And then you see here Texas 2-man coming in clean. And yet again, when that pressure comes in, that was actually an insane user play. Watch how crazy this user play is. So he's showing I'm in a beeline, and then look at him just stop and snap down on the route. It was a great defensive play, and he was not rewarded. And you see him just actually having a field day. Very frustrated with that one. Very frustrated with that one. That one needs to be a pick. All right, tight flex. 4th and 6 situation. He is going to send two. He's going to give Goose a little taste of his own mess and send two out of man coverage. Honestly, this is like standard Henry on fourth down. He pretty much always sends two or sends more of a coverage based defense, and Goose able to complete a drag against man coverage. Man coverage is so inconsistent, and that's why I just don't like it. Not a big fan of man coverage. Really, there's good pressure that time, but again, just notice like what used to be a send four. This is really important. What used to be a send four is not anymore. So look, so he's sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D-pad switching to a defensive end, putting him out of position. He actually is not, but I mean, it's just, it's all right. It's all right. But it's definitely not, he's definitely not having as much success as he had in the tournament that he won with it. He's actually going to double mug here too, which I didn't even. Not a whole lot different. I guess the Texas stunt is the main difference. It's a lot better from double mug. There you see it again. Pressure. Yeah, double mug, man. Double mug is looking like the defense because of that, how good that stunt is. Because he's actually able to get the stunt to come in, and he's not getting when he's in double mug, like a nickel wide, you get rolled out on. But in double mug, it's because they're the way they line up. I feel like you get a little better contain. A little RPO cheese for the touchdown for Goose, and he's able to go up 4. But I will say that was the most we've seen Goose kind of struggle offensively. Even when Henry got the stop, I feel like Goose really. There was probably 3 or 4 times where he could have gotten stopped on that last drive. Whereas the drive he got stopped, it really came down to just a bad fourth down play. But anyway. All right, so Goose back on defense, going to go with a send 2, getting a little aggressive with the switch. The other thing you're seeing a little bit more this year than you saw last year, you're seeing a little bit more switch stick out of man, which is really hard to do and can give up some big plays. So again, another send 2. Send the spy when he kind of drifts. Problem is he sent the spy just a little too early, and that flat defender got tied up, and Henry able just to kind of move down for a first down. This is an uncomfortable defense for Henry to play also because the way Henry likes to play, he plays very, especially offensively, he's very like rhythm based. He wants to play fast. He hates having to take time to hot route. He wants to, come out, play, snap the ball, make his reads. He really wants to just move. And when you play defense like this, you have to be patient. Another thing you're noticing again is Goose's safeties are staying high, and you really haven't seen Henry throw a seam streak on them yet. So that is a little bit of a thing as well. Just kind of seeing like, these safeties are not like he's got a seam streak on the play, but he's not really hitting it. This is a slot fade running back in route again that time. And 4th and 2, right? And Henry's been on a couple fourth downs himself this game. We'll see what Goose ends up going to, but he is able to get him onto a fourth down situation. And if Goose gets a stop right here, it's a big deal. And it's crazy because he's in dime normal, and dime normal really doesn't have a threat of any kind of blitz. It's just send 2. Which is why I'm like, why not do that out of double mug? And here, honestly, like this is pretty good defense. So Henry, how much smash return have we seen this game? Probably 80% of the play calls. We're going to see it again here. We're going to get drag, boom, return, in, all the things, right? So you get a send 3. The send 3 is really kind of pointless. I don't know why. Maybe just to try to give it a chance at a shed, but he just did not have a chance at any shed here. But anywho, so you see slant, drag, user kind of staking down. You've got what Goose did smart is he put a mid read right here to guard this in route because he knows he's going to run this play. And the in route is right in position. But take a look at how that return route is going to pull this yellow over here. And Henry can throw in this little tight window. It's like good defense, better offense, right? Or just better timing, or just got a little bit of an animation or whatever, but like very, very tight window to throw that ball into, and Henry's able to do it. and get a big first down. Kind of a unique combo. Nothing really open there. He's going to throw that, and he's going to complete that. And this is what Henry can do, man. Some of these pass leads. You see how on the sideline here, like he can kind of bend the ball. I believe he still plays on small. Look how far. So he's over. Look at this. He's at the pylon. He's going to turn this into a post because of the small pass lead. Yeah, there you see. Good play from Henry. That's why I don't like playing. That's why cover zero is kind of in a bad spot in this game. It's why I don't like playing cover zero, because stuff like that, like I can't sneak. Like if I'm in cover zero and that happens to me, I'd be so upset. Like I would not. I would rather lose the game you beating my zone coverage than try to do that. I'll play cover zero in situations, I guess. You got to play man situationally generally, but to me, it's hard to see cover zero being like the main defense, you know. All right, Texas four-man from Henry here. You see yet again comes in, but this time Goose riffs well, but good coverage, good defense. Goose really not throwing those streaks like Henry. That's a big difference as well between the two players. And he is going to be in that mid blitz double mug base. This is going to, when he runs double mug, it's going to be a lot more Texas four-man. Not really the threat of the Tom stunt. It's primarily Texas stunning. Here he's going to send that from depth. There's a nice curl. Those curls are so good because those curls, man coverage can't really defend it if you throw it on time. And then the zone coverage, because it's just a really hard route to defend in the zone, because then you put a ton of conflict on a hook curl. The curls are really good in this game. A little pressure there. And they said stem down corners were dead. Goose has a stem down corner here. And you see Travis Hunter just whoops him. On the outside, takes it up, and he's going to be able to get a touchdown there. Henry going to take a little peek-see at what happened. Kind of just a weird thing, right? Corner routed at the end of the day. So 28-24, Goose winning. But this has been a pretty back and forth game, right? Really has. It's interesting because Henry's gotten 2 stops. Goose, I guess, has gotten 1 stop, and Henry's still losing. I guess it's 1 stop, it's 1.5. But anyway, Goose gonna get a fumble. Henry gonna lose his mind. You don't see fumbles a lot in this game, and when you do, it's very sad. But anyway, 3-3 double mug, and he is gonna. This is what Henry's in, man. 3-3 double mug for the bread. Texas four-man stunt. Kind of rage blitzing here, I'm sure. But he is gonna go Texas four-man. He's gonna get great pressure, but the scramble buys all the time that Goose needs in the world. And Goose is starting to kind of catch on to Henry's thing. So you see flat, drag, Texas, crosser, right? Just running crisscross applesauce. It's easy completion for Goose. Goose Guy likes to title himself the most ethical Madden player ever, using those nice pull routes to open up the crisscross applesauce combo. And Henry this time gets a return out to the 40 and decides he wants to run out of bounds because he did not want to fumble again. Bunch X nasty for Henry. See what he ends up going to here. Gonna audible over to Trips Trips. China Y post for that running back slide route. And decides he doesn't want to throw the ball to the running back slide. He'd rather throw the ball away. Step down corner, the tight end, kind of a unique corner route. He's got to speed into the running back. Ooh. Ooh. Take a look at this combo. So he's got this post that is clearing out, but look at this window. Yikes. But able to complete it. That's why I like zone, man. That's why I like zone. That's why you don't like zone, I guess, is because you can throw through them. But I like zone. Looks like Henry's on the empty protection wave. He doesn't want to live life of base protection. He wants to be an empty protection. Interesting. Streak, slot fake corner, running back post. And there was some pressure there from Goose. Let's take a look at what happens here on his pressure. So it's a send two. Again, Henry drifts in the pocket. This time he gets a shed out of the send two. And when he gets a shed out of the send two, even though he's throwing on time, it's frustrating because he just got shedded on a send two. Corner route, deep. And this time he got shedded on a send four. So you see Goose is basically just mix up send four, send two, send four, send two. Here, sends four. No, was not a stunt. I think he just sent four. And this guy just came in. So back to back crazy plays. See what Goose the guy decides to do on this third down. This is his best chance at a stop, I think, or it's been one of his better chances. And if he gets a stop on this drive, it's going to be very hard for Henry to win this game. It's already going to be hard for him to win it, but he goes with this basic send four. Henry goes with that crazy pass lead again, and he's, oh my gosh, look at how good this is. This is a slot fade, same kind of thing. Goose guy just can't stop with the match coverage and man coverage, and so he's isolated. And Henry he can just make these throws. It's like you can't really play man against that. I mean, look at that pass lead. Look how far he pulled that defender in. Just a great pass lead from Henry. Going to go for two here. See what he ends up calling. This Y flat goal line play is really good down here because it actually has a stock speed corner that you don't need to stem. So because you don't need to stem it runs really well. We're going to go to channel Y post, the running back slide. Love this combo. And just can't make that throw. And you see his facial expression. That actually happens to me too, though. Sometimes when you pass like this, it can be a little wonky. This was Henry basically anticipating Goose playing a specific type of defense. Had Henry run his main trip starting combo in there, he might have had a little bit more success. But it is what it is. He's going to stop no matter what, and we're going to see if he's able to do that. So to kick it off to the middle of the field to Ashton Genty, and Genty is going to get tackled. Pretty consistent. I haven't seen Henry give him a kick return yet, and he's just kicking the ball down the middle with the mid power. We'll see here, 3-3 double mug for Henry. He's kind of debating. He's going to go wide here. He's actually going to spread those linebackers out and give a Texas four-man look. Texas four-mans, but flat defender decided he did not want to tackle the running back. Crazy. 3 double mug. Let's see here what we have. A base send four. That's just cover 0 with 2 hard flats. It's just that's crazy. A little warpage there from Travis, but it's just hard to. I don't know. I feel like you just have so much better of a chance at stopping somebody in a zone. Not that, man's, I don't know. Defense is hard in this game because man coverage, you can throw those crazy streaks, but Goose isn't really doing that. So, but he's just beating man coverage on drags. And I like this. Henry switches his zone, does pretty good right there, able to not have to be punished for the switch ticket mistake up top because of the rollout. 3rd and 9. Formations tight sets like this. I feel like man coverage, it's might as well go to zone. And he's gonna go back to man here. He's gonna send 2 out of man coverage like Goose does on the left side. Good hard flat there. It's a decent. Send the spy. Yeah, there we go. Good defense. All right, 4th and 9. So real quick, what I was saying. So So if you take a look here, so you see how he hard flats his user to the left side. He's going to switch stick here, like because he has a spy in the middle of the field. So if he sees like a drag, he can just switch off his hard flat. So anyway, he's just sitting two. He's not going to engage his user. So he's here. See how he kind of runs him over here as well. And then you see he's over here. He's looking for work, doesn't see anything. So he's going to just kind of roll up here. But at this point, you send the spy. If you send the spy, this is the way you do that is flicking the right or clicking the right joystick in. Like especially right here, this lineman is not going to block him. You see how they're kind of frozen over here? It's not going to block him. But Henry waits, and then now sends the spy. Ultimately, he still gets to stop, or still gets a good defensive play there. But just could have been a little bit. But obviously, I get that he's looking for routes, but it's just one of those things that if you're going to send two in this game, you need to be prepared to send that spy when they give you the opportunity to. So 4th and 9 situation, Henry's going to break tendency and he is going to blitz. No, he's not. Now he's going to adjust it out. Now he's going to send 3. So he's going to send 3, cover 0. He's got a cloud. Do a little back off, trying to. The thing about tight sets is the bumping. So Henry's trying to do that. And there he calls a timeout right there. So the reason he calls a timeout right there is if you take a look at what happens here on this side, watch him call this timeout right here. As soon as he sees this motion, he calls timeout. Why? Because that motion is man-to-man killer. And so he calls timeout. He's going to reset up his defense. He knows that this is his best chance to get a stop. So he's going to make sure that he has his, or I guess Goose Guy actually ends up calling the timeout. So never mind. But this is Henry's best chance to get a stop here. So we'll see what he ends up going with. Low motion out running back. And, Henry adjusting a little bit to the right side. And he's got kind of man on one side, zone on the other side, playing a little hybrid coverage, pressure rise. There you see there's that motion. See how it glitched the guy. Now you got this guy manned up over here, but going to go with it. Playing really good defense there. Just make a tackle, not able to make a tackle. That's a first down. And you see him just lose his mind, very frustrated. That 15-yard curl flat right in the perfect position to play a slant. Couldn't play a slant. He's going to actually clip it, take a look at it. He's got that 15-yard curl flat right there to play the tight end slant. He switch sticks on, switch stick off. And that 15-yard, just a little, you just got to make that tackle, make that a little bit better play. Anyway, 1st and 10. And now Goose going to be in full clock mode, going down to eye close flex stretch probably. And it's going to get us to the 2-minute warning. So Goose kind of still needs to get a first down. Henry does still have all of his timeouts. He's still in a decent. And he can actually, realistically, he can still be in the game if Goose scores a field goal. But you got to kind of get a stop here. If he gets a first down here, it's going to be hard. And he's going to play super aggressive man coverage here. Showing us in 6, but he's going to zone him out. So he's just sending the 3 here. I actually kind of like just this regular, like this look right here at a double mug, I think could be relevant. And there's that decent corner route, just beating man coverage and stem down corner, even though he can't stem it all the way down, still stemming it down. And the stem down corner is just going to beat man. Whatever that tight end did. Take a look at the actual route here. So you got the auto motion, and you've got streak, corner, streak, block. Only route he had a guard. That's the first down for Goose. And he probably did. I mean, I don't know if he did or not, but he probably did route come into the outside. Obviously, with tight ends, you anticipate the corner route. Just wasn't able to get it done. Here, going really adjusted here, going to get that flat on the left side. That's going to be a good job for the screen. Goose going to check into the run game here. Probably going to run stretch, I would think. Henry's still got a loose chance of getting this ball back, but Goose is obviously in the driver's seat of this ball game. And Saquon's going to pound forward. Ultimately, major difference in this game really came with the fumble, which is not which is unfortunate to see that kind of to a degree decide a game. Couple top opportunities, the game is so offensive. It's defense is in just such a bad place that when you actually are in position to get a stop and you drop a pick or you don't animate or the defender or the receiver catches the ball and the defender doesn't tackle him immediately, those are some of the mechanics and things that lead to a very frustrating game because ultimately it's I guess to a degree you could say like removing the skill gap to a degree from the game. But anyway, Goose gonna just walk this clock all the way down, and he is gonna take his 3 here. And Henry's still looking at this. What is he looking at? This guy just got fried. Just got absolutely fried. All right, so 35 seconds. Henry down by 8. So he's still not out of this. He could go down, score, get 2-point conversion, and win this ball game, or not win, but get this game to overtime. So he's going to use kind of a unique deep bomb play to Barkley. Not able to catch that in traffic. Goose is going to go to a cover 2 on the left side. You see kind of some crazy combos being dialed up. Crazy times, call for crazy combos. 2 streaks, 2 out routes, basically. Running back. Not going to throw it. Now he's going to have to scramble. And I'll throw that up for grabs. Not going to pick it. Man, a 3 deep time before Goose. Problem is, Henry didn't have any timeouts, so he can't really throw the ball. Because he also needs a touchdown. A field goal is not going to do it. So that's the other big factor here. 4th and 4, this ball game. Man up 3 deep before Goose. Probably going to send 2. Trying to dial up a little short side combo, streak and wheel. He knows Goose probably deep halves these guys. That's just not able to get there. There's a tight end in the middle of the field. Running, it's not going to be enough. And that's going to be that. Henry's going to lose to Goose in the most feared ladders. But hopefully this little game breakdown showed you a little bit about where defense is at. Some of the things you can do. Really, the biggest thing is probably just simply looking for ways to mix up your send 4s, sending 5, sending 6. Really very risky strategy right now. And then also probably maybe opens the conversation for, should you be in a man-based defense or zone-based defense? Man-based defense obviously leaves a lot over the top, whereas the zone-based defense, you can kind of throw through zones at times, but it's going to be more of a bend but don't break style. So anyways, hope you enjoyed that. If you guys want to check out any of their stuff, it'll be in the description below. If you want to check out any of my stuff, it'll be in the description down below.